really sinking into that hip, feeling that stretch on this side, and then we're going to come back to that other side, feeling that glute work.
My whole abs were sore.
Yeah.
Right up in here.
Yeah.
Butt was sore.
Huh?
My butt was
My
sore.
butt was sore too.
My butt was sore too, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. I woke up the next day and I'm like, oh, okay. Go ahead and do some twisting punches.
Was it good sore?
Yes. Go ahead and just do some kind of side stretch, side punch here, reaching up. Drawing that elbow back down, feeling that squeeze as we bring that arm down in our back. Let's go ahead and do some push pulls. We're going to push out in front and pulling down and back, squeezing the back muscles together.
Is there a dog upstairs?
Upstairs?
I feel like a bark every now and then. Maybe it's my.
Maybe it's Milo.
Maybe it's Milo.
Not that I know of, but could be. Who knows? All right, let's go into some butt kicks here. And let's transition up to some high knees, kind of squeezing the abdominals when we're doing this. Heart rate up. Let's go into some lunge and twists, all right? So let's go ahead and do lunge and upright twist. So you can step back into a back lunge, and we're gonna twist one side to the next side and coming up. Go ahead and switch legs. So one side, next. The twist kind of bothers, having issues with balance. Go ahead and just do the lunge here. Ready for some work. Good. Go ahead and finish that last one. Shake it out. We're gonna switch it up a little bit this morning. We're gonna start off with some abdominal work first, okay? So first we're starting off with the plank. We're still doing the 5 by 20 seconds. So we're gonna actually start on the floor into our plank. Just a regular elbow plank. Drop the knees if you need to. Gonna start up here in 3, 2, 1. Plank. Warming up all around the core here to start out with. Make sure we're breathing. You can drop those knees if you need to. Good work. 3, 2, 1. Still hanging out on the floor. We're just gonna flip over now into a bicycle crunch. So this is the one where we're having the opposite elbow is gonna be the opposite knee, right? And then that other leg is extended out, kind of back and forth. Okay? Ready? And start. Sure. Doing good, ladies. 2, 1. Woo! Break. I'm gonna come up. All right, so I'm not sure we've done this next one in class. Next one is called sissy squat. So with the sissy squat, what we're doing is actually, we want to feel a lot in our quads, front of our legs with this one. So with the sissy squat, what we want to do is, first we start over with our arms crossed over kind of our chest here. And it's going to feel like, kind of like in the Matrix, you're trying to or you're doing the limbo, or trying to kind of come back, right? So we're hinging those hips back. With this one, it's okay, those knees are gonna drive over our toes here, okay? So what we're doing is basically as we're coming back into that kind of limbo, we're bending our knees at the same time, okay? So we're coming back at the same time the knees are bending, and we're standing upright. We should feel those quads, the front of those. Yep. So it doesn't take much to feel it. Just feeling that front here, okay? Ready? You begin. Sometimes what can help too is if you almost come up on the tippy toes, if you're not really feeling it, or you feel like you can feel it more. Squeezing up with those quads. Making sure we still have a nice straight spine. We want to be kind of careful with this one as we lean back. You might feel a lot in our low back. Good, go ahead and break. Okay, Next, we're gonna do sumo deadlifts. I need some weights. Okay. All right, sumo deadlift. So we want to make sure our legs are out wide, right? Toes are pointed about 45 degrees here. Hinging at those hips. Okay. Coming down, nice straight back. Hips hinge back about halfway down. The knees bend. As we come down, if you're able to come all the way to the floor, great. And we're squeezing up. All right, as long as that back stays nice and straight. I don't want us coming down here and then we end up curving our back like this to be able to come down. Okay. So if you're not able to do it with a straight spine, don't do that all the way down. Okay. Ready? And begin. Move back. Squeezing up. Good. See lots of straight spines. I like it. And those shoulder blades back. We're almost done here. Not here for long. 2, 1. Rest. Okay, we're gonna keep our weights. We're gonna come into a double-handed row. All right, so come into row position, right? We're hinging those hips back, the knees are bent, we're squeezing our glutes. Coming with those hands parallel, facing right underneath, dropping right underneath our chest here, okay? What we're doing is rolling back, so we want to squeeze those shoulder blades down and back, the elbows are drive back as well, and coming forward. So we're doing a row, we want to make sure, I think I discussed this in our Zoom, we want to make sure the shoulders aren't forward like this, right? We're not coming into this motion. We're trying to actively roll the shoulders down and back, really squeezing back behind us, okay? And the shoulders will come back down, okay? We're squeezing down and back. Ready, and start. You can kind of hold it for a second, split second. Really feel in between the back working. Awesome. 2, 1. Last thing, we hit our shoulders. Okay? Nice strong core as we're doing this. Want to make sure we're not bending our back at all. Coming into that overhead press. Ready, and begin. Straight up, nice and supported throughout our core. Coming almost all the way down, then we're coming right back up. And rest. Alright. Quick drink if you want one. These are going to go fast. It's our first time through, so we got 4 more times to go. Alright, on the floor. Ready. And start. Elbow plank. Back to that core here. Breathing. Almost done. Keep those butts down. Nice line. And break. Flip it over. Bicycle crunch. All right. Ready. And begin. Opposite knee and opposite elbow. Knee in the middle. Feeling that kind of cross way. We're making that X out of our core. Doing great. Almost done. Breathe. Finishing off strong. 2, 1. Rest. And we're coming up. All right, going with sissy squats next. And if you want to, you can have a weight with this one. I mean, you can hold it kind of up, you know, if you want a little bit added weight. Otherwise, you should feel it just enough without any weight as well. Okay, sissy squats. We're leaning back into that matrix. Ready? And start. Squeeze it forward. Feeling those quads. Propel us up. Make sure we're supporting our core. Squeezing all around, not feeling a lot of low back pressure. 2, 1. Good. All right. Sumo deadlift next. All right, legs are wide, toes point 45 degrees. Awesome. Hinging those hips back. Ready, and begin. Squeeze and using those glutes, inner thighs. work. Making sure you're bending those knees a little bit, halfway down. 2, 1. Yep, keeping the weights. Coming for upper body now. Hitting in between our shoulders into the double-handed drill. Ready, and begin. Squeezing back between those shoulders. Trying to squeeze those shoulder blades to our spine. Strong back is going to help with good posture. Help with shoulder issues. 2, 1. All right, already to overhead press. These go quick, don't they?
Yeah.
Good. Jeez. Ready, and begin. Awesome. Nice supported in our core like always. Never forgetting form as we go through these kind of quick. Awesome. Looking strong, ladies. 2, 1. Quick rest. Walk in place if you want. Yes, to the floor. Getting ready for a plank. So I want a good plank here. We're only doing 20 seconds, so I want us to have a nice flat body. We don't want those hips creeping up. Ready, and start. Awesome, looks good. I see lots of good planks here. I'm shaking already. Breathe. Almost done. 2, 1. Rest. We're back. Bicycle crunch. Ready. And start. Option to keep the leg up a little bit higher for a little bit easier, or a little bit lower for a little more difficult here. Difficulty. Awesome work. 2, 1. And we're up. Sissy squats are next. Ready, and begin. Everyone's foot position might be a little bit different. Maybe a little bit more narrow is going to help you a little bit more. Maybe more wider. More wider, you're going to get more of the inner thighs involved. So maybe narrowing that stance and really squeezing right in the front. Awesome. 2, 1.
I can feel it.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Good, good. All right. Rose. Yes.
Ready for dead.
Sumo
Oh,
squat.
oh, shoot. I skipped. I skipped sumo deads. Never mind.
Okay.
You guys are keeping me on my toes. All right. Sumo deads. Ready. And begin. Good. Pinning those shoulder blades back. Nice straight spine. We imagine if there was a kind of a ruler tied to our spine from the crown of our head or the top of our head to our tailbone. Nice straight line. Squeezing up. And break. Now we're into rows. Ready. Here we go, rows. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Awesome. Breathing through this, feeling that squeeze coming down. And rest. Finishing with the overhead presses. Ready, and begin. Coming up overhead, and then back down to about chin height, and then shooting right back up. Always supported inner core. Two, one, rest. 3 times through, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where I'm gonna get confused, is remembering how many times we made it. Two more times. Elbow plank. Ready. Here we go. Nice, good planks. Hips are even. We're feeling that from the front of our core, wrapping all the way back to our back, which is still part of our core. Strengthening that area. 2, 1. Rest. Come into our backs now. Bicycle crunch. Ready. Here we go, ladies. Breathing through this, feeling that squeeze. Again, not here for a long time, making the most out of it. Three, 2, 1. We're up for sissy squats. Arms are crossed. You're ready. And begin. Back, feel that squeeze. For fun, you can kind of try to really make sure one time you lift up with like one leg, just making sure you're activating both. Because we tend to rely on one leg a lot.
Yeah, you can tell.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, said that.
And rest. Sumo deadlift. Feet are nice and wide, toes pointing 45 degrees. Ready. We begin. Nice and strong, squeezing up. Not a lot of reps, but a lot of power here as we squeeze up. Really good form. Three, 2, 1. Rowing. Ready. Hitting those hips, squeezing the glutes. Ready? Here we go. Rows. 20 seconds here. Good. Squeezing even on the way up and even supporting on that way down. We don't want to make sure the arms just don't drop down. Kind of nice and supported. And we're coming right back up for the next. 2, 1. Overhead press. Ready? And start. We're coming down and squeezing right back up. Finish off strong, and we'll just have one more time through. Squeezing up those shoulders. And rest. Go ahead, grab a drink here. Flying through. And with the shorter amount of time here, if you've been thinking about going up in weight, it might not be a bad idea if you wanted to maybe notch it up. I know we have kind of select weights to do that. I'm keeping that in mind for future workouts. All right, last time through, elbow plank. Ready? Here we go. Good, nice planks, ladies. Almost done. Breathe and break. Bicycle crunches. Starting up in 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds. Bicycle crunch. Last time through. Making it your best time. Making sure we're squeezing the abdominals. We're going to feel a little bit in the front of our legs, those hip flexors. But making sure we're still feeling the core working as well. 2, 1. we go, starting up. Really squeeze at those legs. I'm starting to even feel a little bit my low back, so just want to adjust, maybe trying to dip those knees out a little bit further within a good range, as long as you don't feel a lot of knee pain doing that. 2, 1. Rest. 3 more things. 1 minute left. Sumo deadlift. Ready. Here we go. Squeezing up those glutes. Nice strong posterior chain or back calf here. Gonna help us throughout our day, making sure we lift things correctly. Use those glutes. Lift. 2, 1. Alright, taking a breath, going into rows next. Ready, and begin. Nice strong backs here. Checking in with those shoulders. Are they facing forward as we're doing this? If not, trying to readjust. Really trying to actively roll them back a little bit, feeling that squeeze between those shoulders. 2, 1. Press. Overhead press and we're done. Ready. Here we go. Awesome work, ladies. Keep breathing here, coming down, and we're shooting right back up. Nice support on that way down, and right back up. 2, 1. Rest. Nice, made it. Nice and quick.
Wow,
Quick. Yeah.
That's good. That is nice.
I'm gonna breathe here. Gonna come to a cool down. All right. First, let's go ahead and just do. Actually, let's come to handcuff first. We're gonna hit those shoulders. Trying to actively want to line those middle fingers back up our spine if we can. And when we're ready, we're gonna do that bowing waiter. I love this one for hamstring stretch, all the way back to our calves. We're painting those hips back, nose to knee here. If we're lifting those toes up, we're gonna feel it in our calves, in our hamstrings. Go ahead, hinge those hips up when you're ready, and we'll switch. And hinge those hips. Oh man, I'm much tighter on this side.
Yeah.
Awesome, nice work. Go ahead, slowly stand up, release those arms. Shake them out. Let's go ahead and come into just double arm windmill here first. Coming up, overhead. Trying to feel that shoulder joint. Maybe you notice my left arm, I know, definitely can't come back near as far as my right arm, which is my problem area. But just trying to actively think about both sides. Good, shake that out. Let's go ahead and just clasp our hands above our head. And we're gonna come to one side for a nice side stretch. Awesome, go ahead and switch. All right, we're gonna do the same thing, and you can stay in that stretch, or we're gonna add in that kind of hip, more of a hip stretch. So what you can do, sometimes what helps is just bring your feet in, as long as you have good balance. Otherwise, you might throw off your balance a little bit if you do that. Though then we're going to try to lean into our hip now, rather than kind of that side stretch really gets that QL muscle, which is a muscle that attaches from your hip kind of up to your back. Whereas if we're leaning into that hip, it's going to really feel more a hip stretch into that glute. So you're really leaning in here. And then go ahead and switch if you haven't yet. This is a good stretch for like sciatica. If you guys are having some issues with sciatica, you know, open up that area. Drop your shoulders.
That will help with sciatic because my mom has that, so that might be something that she.
Yep. And if she's older in a little bit, I like to use like a pole actually for this, and you can do it a couple different ways. I'll show you here. So you can use this, and she has like issues with balance, and she can really make sure she's leaning in, make sure she's not just kind of which this will still help because the low back and hip are to interplay together. this is one that you can kind of do. You can
I have
really
that.
lean into it when you have
I
something
have that
that's
sciatica, that's bad.
She does.
And you can also cross the one leg back behind you. That's gonna feel even more
Okay.
of that stretch.
She's going to therapy, but if she could do stuff with the girls in there.
Sciatica is a tough issue.
Hivamat,
Huh?
Hivamat, Hivamat. That's what helped me. I went to the lymphedema clinic,
I remember you talking about that.
and that's the only thing. They massage you twice a week for like 40 minutes, and it's like a magnet, and you hold on to a magnet, and then the therapist is hooked to a magnet, and it's some kind of current, and they massage it. And I did it twice a week for 3 months, and it helped. And I haven't had it since. Oh God.
You go knock on wood, yeah.
Yeah, she's
That's
been through a lot.
Oh, it's terrible. I could barely walk for like a year and a half.
Well, all she does is walk around the house and lay down.
Yeah. Go ahead, let's do some arm crossovers here.
Best for me was standing up. And when I'd walk, I'd have to drag this leg.
See, and she can't sit on it.
Mm-mm.
No, we even got her a chair to, lift her out. She
Oh shoot. Good. Out of that. Let's go ahead and do some neck stretches. Let's go ahead, lean one ear to the shoulder, and then we're gonna take the opposite hand, gonna pull those fingertips towards our forearm, and you can kind of move it up and around. Notice how that feels different in that muscle that connects the shoulder and neck. Good. Go ahead and switch when you're ready. You guys can feel free to keep stretching if you want.